When we say a bank is targeting a niche demographic, typically what we mean is that they've zeroed in on either an industrial, commercial, professional, or demographic segment in their own market. These days, however, because of digital banking, they can take that focus outside the geographic confines of their market and pursue that niche on a national basis. Banks pursue niche strategies often because they have to. They can't compete at scale or just on rates with the biggest banks in the country. Therefore, they have to specialize with certain segments or subsegments. They give them an opportunity for a profitable business model, but one that's specialized enough for it to be difficult for others to compete with them serving that niche. For a bank to determine whether a niche is either too small or too broad to serve successfully, they need to think about a couple of things. First, they need to determine whether the niche in question would self-identify cleanly, without confusion, as that niche. If not, if you are going to market with a strategy that makes it confusing for that particular prospect to identify with the sub-niche you're marketing to versus another niche or two that they possibly also affiliate with, you are confusing your go-to-market strategy, you're confusing them, it will not be successful. On the other hand, you could go too broad. If you're a bank who has decided, I'm going to be a commercially niche bank, you have to put some more precision behind that. What does commercial mean? Is it solopreneurs? Is it independent contractors? Is it a particular professional sub-vertical? Is it larger businesses? Is it corporate entities who need very specialized treasury management services? Those are the questions that you need to ask in order to determine whether your niche is too big or too small. When banks are looking to identify a niche market to serve successfully, they don't start with a clean slate or a blank page. Instead, they do an inside inventory. Who do we know? Where do we have connections? To what industries do we have privileged insider knowledge, or in which we have native competence for that particular segment, industry, profession, whatever the case may be. That's where banks who are pursuing these strategies successfully begin. Who do we know? What can we lever? Where are we connected? If your customers or prospects identify with more than one niche, you may have to revise your go-to-market strategy. One problem in going too niche is that you are only serving such a specific need for such a specific part of that customer or that prospect that you're not serving the entire account holder or the entire relationship, and they ultimately will go elsewhere to get the full picture of financial services they need to run their business or to do what they do as a retail customer. When banks are considering or pursuing a niche strategy, there's one primary thing they need to think about in terms of their digital tooling, and that is that they need an open digital platform with very beautifully and well-documented APIs that are easy for fintechs of choice to consume and thereby integrate into the bank. Niche strategy is about specialization. So the bank ultimately will need to integrate the 1, 2, or 3 fintechs that together bring the special products and services that particular niche needs to bear in a unified digital experience. A bank doesn't necessarily have to do a massive upgrade of digital capabilities or do a massive outlay of some new tech investment in order to pursue a niche strategy. That is, if they already have an open digital banking platform that has APIs that are easy for fintechs of choice to consume, and through that to integrate back to the bank in putting together a unified, specialized offering for niches. Also, we've learned over the past years that it's also not necessary to stand up a separate digital brand to execute on any given niche strategy. We saw Chase make an attempt with Fin. It disbanded. We saw Wells Fargo stand up a separate digital brand in Greenhouse. That ended. And we now are seeing Goldman Sachs pull back and withdraw on its separate digital brand, Marcus. That's given banks a cue that they no longer have to stand up separate digital brands to go after particular niches.